For the ones who get it done, the most important part is the one you need now. And the best partner is the one who can deliver. That's why millions of maintenance and repair pros trust Grainger, because we have professional-grade supplies for every industry, even hard-to-find products. And we have same-day pickup and next-day delivery on most orders. But most importantly, we have an unwavering commitment to help keep you up and running. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Follow the money.
That's what I always say. You always follow the money.
Yeah.
This is Follow the Money with Mitch Moss and Pauly Howard on VSiN.
Busy hour on tap. There's a game going on right now, top of the ninth. College World Series in Omaha. Oregon State tied it up 6 apiece. There is one out now with runners on second and third. They're minus 360 to win the game. Moments ago, they were the exact opposite, about plus 360 or 4-1 to win the game. And Derek Stevens in studio, the owner of this great property at the bottom of the hour. Here we move to Sunrise, Florida. Location tonight, Game 6, Panthers Lightning. As the great Dennis Bernstein joins the program now, thefourthperiod.com. The Sirius XM NHL coverage begins at 7 o'clock Eastern tonight with Dennis on that coverage. DB, good to talk to you as always. How are you, my man?
I'm doing great, Mitch and Pauly. I apologize. Do they really have to practice? They've had so many damn Cup Final games here in the last 2 years. They really have to practice. Now they're going to sing "Oh Canada" in the background, Mitch, so I apologize. But looking forward to a Game 6 and a Game 7, Pauly.
Well, hold on.
Wow.
And a Game 7.
He's calling his shot.
The Oilers win the game tonight?
Yeah. It's been the Panthers have had 3 opportunities in the last 3 series to close out games at home. They're not a great home team, Mitch. They're not. I wouldn't be surprised. And you can't tell me after Game 5 how bad Connor and Leon played, that they're going to go out like that they're not going to have their best game tonight. Now, we can talk about Skinner being in net, whatever, but I think it goes 7 because there's not much separating these teams regardless.
So let's expand on that. What do you think of the change and going back to Skinner?
Okay, I think they did the right thing. I would have played Cal Pickard in 5, right? If he wins, you're playing for 6. If he loses, now you fall back to Skinner, who, let's be real, as much as a run as Pickett's had, Skinner's the better goaltender. Remember last year, Paulie, in Game 7, they lost 2-1. He played great. He got beat short side by Reinhart in the third period and wound up losing the game. They did the right thing there, but the entire team has to play better, Paulie.
Yeah,
they have to play better in front of them, and not for nothing. You can't go back to Pickard because the 2 goals that Marchand scored, as much as we want to wax poetic about Marchand, right? They weren't great goals. They went through his 5-hole, right? So. I don't have a problem with the move. The move I had problems with was the moves that Knoblauch made after a win. He won here in Game 4, went to all these changes in Game 5. The team had no energy, no connectivity. He went up losing the game. Now he's going back to the lineup after Game 4. I think part of the fact that they're in that hole is coaching. I think he's been outcoached by Paul Maurice. We'll see tonight if that's the case too.
Okay. So you think it's goes 7. How about, can Edmonton get off to a strong start finally? It's been so bad in the first period the last 3 games. I think we have to start there with the key. And can they stay out of the box as Florida's had 7 power play goals in the series?
Paulie, they've had 14 stick fouls, the Oilers, in the Cup Final. You can't do that. And Leon said it tonight. We can't change the game tonight. You're always chasing the game.
Yeah.
You can't chase the game if you're the Oilers because you know what happens? You get out 2-0. You have to open up the offense. The defense leaks. You wind up giving up more goals. That's what you saw in Game 5. They have to take a lead. They have to be smart with their sticks, and they have to convert on the power play. Paulie, in Game 5, they had power play chances early. They couldn't get it done. Like, this has to be their best game. And if they go down again in game, then I'm probably playing the Oilers because they're not going to make the same comeback they made in Game 4 here in Game 6. That's not going to happen. The Oilers have to get out to a lead if they want to take this back to Edmonton.
I'll tell you this. It's Follow the Money here on VSiN, the Sports Betting Network. Our guest, Dennis Bernstein, he's live in Sunrise, Florida tonight for Game 6, Stanley Cup Final, and he's on the Progressive guest line. I mean, it's like a contrarian play, right? But I think the market, they think the exact opposite here, Dennis. This number has moved like 20 cents or more at some books on Florida's side since our show started 2 hours ago.
Yeah, well, Mitch, they have 8 comeback victories. And what did Chris Melbach say today? When my teams, when their backs against the wall, they play their best. So I expect Edmonton's best game. And if they play their best game, Mitch, then the market's wrong, and I'm right. And I think that's what's going to happen tonight because I don't think there's much separating this team. They found a way to win here down 3-0 in Game 4. If they played better, could they win this game? Absolutely. So I get the sentiment because of Game 5, because of Marchand and the impact Marchand had and the goals and the great stories. A lot of it's a narrative. I don't care about narratives. I care about when they get on the ice and play. And I certainly think the Edmonton Oilers can still, if they're smarter and better, they can take this back for Game 7 on Friday night.
And you like the over again? 7 straight have gone over, and 11 of the last 12 head-to-head.
Over. Pauly, let's say it's 4-1 the Panthers in the third period. They're going to pull the goalie. Yep. They're going to try everything, and same thing with the Florida Panthers, right? So, and look, Game 5, it was 3-0 in the third. Oh, there's no way it's going the over. What happened? 5-2, bingo.
Yep.
No. Guess what, Pauly? These teams aren't great defensive teams. That's why it's going over, not because of Connor McDavid or Bennett or Marchand. They're not great defensive teams. This is going to be a high-scoring game. I think that's the only path to victory for the Oilers is to play a high-scoring game. They're not going to win this game 2-1 tonight.
Really? Okay.
They're not. That's not in the cards. There's no way.
Can't do it?
I can't imagine Skinners would do that.
They're going to have to score 4 or 5.
All right.
And the Panthers are going to score 2 or 3. I think it's going to be a 5-3 game. I think it's going over again.
We brought this up
crazy
earlier.
As that sounds.
And we'll ask you, Dennis. I said if you told the Oilers players right now that Skinner's going to limit the Florida Panthers to 3 goals tonight, you sign up for that right now, do you not?
Amen. Yes, you would. Yeah, because I think they think they're good enough to score. They can score on the Ekblad was good in the last game, wasn't great in the first, 4 games. So, can the Oilers? Yeah, the Oilers are going to get power play opportunities. What they have to do, Mitch, 3 goals, you need 4 to win. You're going to have to get 2 power play goals. So it's essential that the power play, which wasn't great, it was. You know what happened, Mitch and Pauly? The game between Game 4 and 5, there was 1 day of travel. The Oilers looked exhausted. They had no energy, no connectivity. Mm-hmm. They played their worst game in the series. They had 2 days off to think about how bad they played in Game 5 and to rest a little bit more. I think a more rested team. And if Skinner doesn't give up bad goals, can they win this? Absolutely, they can. I don't think there's a lot separating these teams as good as the Panthers looked in Game 5.
Okay. Is there a prop that you love for tonight, Dennis?
Is there a prop that I love tonight? Yeah, over 1.5 goals in the third period. I love that. Absolutely, because it's going to come down to the third period. The teams are going to start pulling goalies. And I'll go with they moved Ekholm, Mattias Ekholm, back up to the top pair, so maybe more block shots, so maybe play more, so maybe over 1.5 blocks.
Damn right.
Mattias Ekholm on the Edmonton Oilers.
Damn right. 1.5 over -170. It's gone over 12 of the last 13. What are you hearing, your opinion, and people you talk to if Florida wins Conn Smythe?
Okay, so I get the sentiment from Marchand. He's had 6 goals in the final. People have to remember the award is not for the final. It's for the entire playoffs. They've won 15 games, the Panthers. Sam Bennett has scored 15 goals. That's the winner. Unless Marchand does something heroic tonight, Pauly and Mitch, like get a hat trick with the game-winning goal in overtime, and he has 9 goals in the final. Other than that, 15 goals is a lot of goals for a guy who's a second-line center. Like, if you're going to vote the way the award is supposed to be awarded for, then you vote for Sam Bennett if the Panthers win tonight, short of some miraculous play by Brad Marchand.
All right, buddy. We're going to let you go a couple minutes early here. It sounds like Metallica's starting behind you. But thank you, pal. We appreciate it here 2 hours before they drop the puck. And enjoy the game tonight, okay?
Yeah, we'll see you in Edmonton.
Yep. Oh, there we go. All right.
He's a man. Down 43 pounds and counting.
How far I didn't get that information. How much does he want to go?
He wants to go to 168.
And how far is he from that?
He's 173.
168 and then call it good. All right.
It's a shot, no appetite. When you left, you think it was bad there. They put the horn on him. Is
that right?
I was rooting for that while he was on, while they're singing "Oh Canada" behind him.
I love the guy, but I could feel it. It was like I was at the concert with him right there,
tough.
right next to the speaker.
No, I'm with him. I don't know why you got to practice now. I mean, it's...
Okay, so a couple things here. Follow Dennis on X, at Dennis TFP for the fourth period.
Yeah.
And he is on the coverage on Sirius XM, the NHL channel, starting at 7 o'clock Eastern, which is 50 minutes from right now, give or take. Mm-hmm. Do we have an update here? It's bottom of the ninth?
Louisville got out of it.
Oh, my Lord, they did.
Oregon State was $5 in play. Second and third, nobody out. Louisville makes the pitching change, and they get out of it. 6-6, bottom of the ninth. The swings in play here are nuts.
Oh, Well, the plus 1.5 at minus 110 is not even like good that we talked about 15 minutes ago now. What's the current price now on Louisville? They got to be a heavy favorite here.
$1.90.
Okay.
Arkansas is up to $4 in the nightcap.
Yeah, and laying
minus
2.5 runs.
2.5, yes,
Yeah.
against UCLA. What a game. Oh.
How about on one of these teams that appeared to be completely dead, right? To come back and win the whole thing.
I think Oregon State could do it.
I think so.
I don't think, yeah.
And the time to bet Arkansas would have been after they lost to LSU.
Yeah, right.
But that was tough. We had several guests on over the weekend live at Rocco's in Omaha who actually pointed that out.
That's right.
Right, if you want to.
Grissom was all over that
he was.
in the betting guide. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay.
He is strong. All right, I hope that, we're going to have hockey Friday night if he's right.
It's a contrarian play, but
Can't
again.
play any worse. So 20-cent move on Florida, no doubt.
And I
think want to get nuts, contrarian, 2-1 Edmonton.
Wow, yeah,
3-2.
No kidding.
3-2.
Looks like some books are now going back the other way. So we got some buyback here on Edmonton the way it looks. Because at a few books, at least here in Las Vegas, the number is back to minus 160 on Florida. It's all over. I mean, it's minus 160 as high as minus 175 on the game tonight. Definitely shop around as always, looking for the best price. You can get
no kidding.
Yep.
I couldn't believe the differences in Williams' prop to score 40. I saw as high as 30 and as low as 10.
10-1?
Just, eesh.
Ay.
All over the map with that stuff.
Okay, so a lot to get to in the final 45-plus minutes of the program here today. More on Major League Baseball. Opposing starting pitchers are on a 12-2 run against this team. And we'll kick around what happened last night of the NBA Finals Game 5 and some numbers that are popping now because of the news that we had before the show started with a star player.
This is Follow the Money on VSiN.
We're watching a double meltdown in Omaha because Louisville allowed Oregon State to get back into it, tied the game. It's a miracle they survived it, did not give up the lead, go to the bottom of the ninth, and now bases are loaded for the Cardinals, nobody out. So there was a bunt attempt by Louisville to move the runners over from first and second, and the pitcher completely whiffed on the ball, and now there's nobody out. There should have been one out, runners on second and third, but that's not the case.
Yep. There have been some tough moments, especially with the Louisville games, too. Just some not well played and some horrendous miscues. The Arizona-Louisville game had a botched rundown. The pitcher dropped the ball.
Mm-hmm.
So now bases loaded, nobody out for Louisville.
Now, Grand Slam covers all the run lines in for Louisville here in this game.
Yeah.
And the winner gets Coastal Carolina tomorrow. And they're on a, 24-game winning streak?
Yeah. What a story.
Yeah. All right, here's the guy I was talking about, the team I was talking about before the break. If you missed this earlier, the Guardians play at the Giants tonight. It's Ciccone against Robbie Ray. Robbie Ray's been dynamite. Mm-hmm. Opposing lefties are 13-5 over against Cleveland this year with their K-prop. Opposing starters are currently on a 12-2 over run against Cleveland in general. Ray, 9-3 over stretch since an 0-2 start. The Guardians have struck out 27% of their at-bats against lefties since they faced Skubal on May 25th. And recent games for Ray. Now consider this. He had 7 against KC, 9 against San Diego, 9 against the Diamondbacks. Those are 3 of the top 5 teams in baseball at limiting or not striking out. 10.18 Ks per 9, a 28% K rate tonight. If he goes... Can he touch 7 innings, though? He's going to get in that neighborhood to get to 7 strikeouts, pretty much.
I think they win the game, and I think you get a big performance from Devers to start. They're 22-11 at home. Cleveland's reeling. So good when he pitches. I think it'll be a good atmosphere, and they'll get the job done tonight. And it seems pretty cheap to me.
I will say this.
There's a lot of games like that where the line seems too low.
This is, I lived there for a couple of years.
Oh, they love their Giants. I'm stunned by it.
I was blown away at how big they were when I moved to San Francisco. I thought when I moved there it was going to be a 49ers town, and it is. But the Giants are so popular in San Francisco. They had almost 2 million people at the parade the one year they won the World Series. I'd never seen anything like it before in my entire life.
Yeah.
Devers is going to show up tonight, and the fans are not going to get enough of that dude. They will embrace him they're going to love him from Jump Street.
Yep.
Not that I'm not saying anything bad about that's not the Red Sox fans. That's the Red Sox organization who blew that.
Well, they got a bad knock too, a bad reputation, because they were always loved their team, but no one went because of Candlestick and
there you
where
go.
it was situated, right?
Yep, bingo.
It was tough to go there. Traffic's a disaster, and then
now this park is either the number one park in baseball, top 2, top 3, depending on who you talk to.
Yeah, whatever the Mark Twain line is about San Francisco, right?
It is. I've never spent a
coldest winter.
The coldest winter of my life is a summer in San Francisco, something like that. Yeah,
excellent.
That's true.
In the wind, damn right. If you think Oregon State can get out of this, they're 18-1 to win the game. 18-1. Bases loaded, nobody out, bottom of the ninth. Louisville just got to have a second and third jam. Can they pull this off? Now 22-1 in play.
This is not mission impossible.
That's right.
It's mission difficult here.
So I'm also with the Reds, right? De La Cruz has gone deep 4 in a row.
Yep.
Abbott 6-1 with a 1.87 coming off a shutout. 110 pitches though last time out. That could concern you. But Twins are reeling. They've lost 8 of 10. A lot of guys hurt. And if you take out the one poor start that Abbott had, he'd have an ERA of 0.3. Reds won 7 of 9. Twins have lost 8 of 10. Abbott's been phenomenal, like the Reds as well. That's another one. And I like the Blue Jays. Been so good with Bassett at home. Big earn. Crushing it. Owns lefties. 26 of 64, 11 extra base hits, 13 runs. Last 16, leads the Jays in WAR. Bassett at home, 5-0 with a 2.48, and the Jays have won 7 of his 8 starts, and I think they can touch up Fott as well.
Now, there was a stretch where you were betting against pitchers taking on the Blue Jays because they were so good at not striking out, right? That continues. Although they did strike out against the Phillies, this run now going all the way back for more than a month has been outstanding, and Fott has not been good. Since a really solid start to the year, it's completely flipped. It's been a 180. His K prop is back to 4.5 now today. I find it very difficult for him to get to 5. Blue Jay starters have struck out 14.7% of the time since May 23rd. And that's when a streak started of starting pitchers on a 15-3 underrun with their K-prop against this team. They're the best team in baseball not striking out. And this guy, in recent games, he's had 4, 2, 0, 5, 0, and 3 strikeouts. 1 over there in that time. 4.5 again tonight.
Yeah.
It's like minus 150.
I like the Rays, too. 13-2 run. They've been so good at home now after the early struggles. They're figuring out Steinbrenner Field. They're 19-6 since May 20th. Number 1 in runs, OPS, and ERA.
Yep.
They're going against Kramer. I think the Rays stay hot and get it done as well. And look at this. Oregon State, look, it's down to 6-1 now. They just went from 20-1 to 6-1.
I think he had a strikeout, right?
Yeah. There's an out for sure. Maybe he's ahead of the hitter, too. Can you imagine if they get out of this?
Oh,
you got 20-1 in your hip pocket, and then you go back-to-back tightrope that these teams get out of? Louisville blew the lead, but still, to be second and third, nobody out. The swings here, in play, crazy at the College World Series. Oh, and we got another game coming up. Triple header. Kevin, you going to run on a Busch Light?
Strong 2-day stretch there in Omaha, huh?
It is.
Yeah. Okay, so the NBA Finals last night, Thunder, they were awesome because of SGA, but more importantly, Jalen Williams was absolutely fantastic. He had the 40 points. As you said moments ago, shop around, he was between 10 and 30-1 to score 40-plus points. Definitely look at various books. And because of the news that we had before the show started 2 hours and 20 minutes ago, right calf injury to Tyrese Halliburton. He was hurt last night again in the game. T.J. McConnell, his backup, was absolutely fantastic. I don't know what Rick Carlisle was doing by not having him back in the game late when it mattered most, especially when the Pacers cut it back down to like 2. Come on, man. McConnell was a huge reason why you were in the game.
Yep.
But the number moved today from 4.5 for Oklahoma City. It did touch 7. It settled in now at 6.5. Because of the news, they don't play again until Thursday, and the total came down from 224 to 222.5. And as a result, the series price also moved to Oklahoma City minus 2,000.
Would you play him? You get the extra day, but I wouldn't play him. And I can't believe Carlisle's comments afterwards. Well, I know he wasn't close to 100%, but he said he could play, so I put him out there. But he didn't make a shot. He had 4 points. He was clearly bothered by the injury, and it hurt. And McConnell's giving you a huge lift. It's a 2-point game late.
I know. Now, I don't know if Indiana wins the game, but I'm quite confident in saying that if he would have flipped it there and McConnell would have had all the run or as much as possible and Halliburton did not, I'm pretty certain that the Pacers at least covered the game last night. I didn't have them, but I'm pretty sure that they would have covered the 9.5. Yeah. I was targeting Game 6. We talked about it on Saturday morning, live from Omaha. We brought it up again yesterday. I wanted an Oklahoma City convincing win last night because I wanted to come back and bet Indiana at home in Game 6, catching a nice number. But now this throws it for a loop to me because I don't know if he does play, but what if he's compromised then? And Carlisle sticks with him too long, then to me all bets are off, and I don't want to be on that side.
Yeah. Then the drama late. You still couldn't leave it and walk away because the line was 9.5. And Indiana's got the ball down 11.
Well, they had a chance. Mm-hmm. They most definitely did.
Yep.
And I would say that SGA is minus 550 to be the Finals MVP. It would be a reckless comment for me to say that's over with, because Williams has been awesome, and they're not going to forget about last night's game. He can steal this award.
That's a tough one to take again for Indiana. 22 turnovers.
Oh, was it sloppy, Paul?
32 Oklahoma City points. Halliburton gives you nothing. Williams goes for 40. It's a 2-point game in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, well said.
Tough. Louisville just walked it off. Oregon State eliminated. Louisville plays Coastal tomorrow. If you're into futures wagering, fantasy, or just like the thrill of calling your shot, you need to check out Xcutta, XCUTTA, the future of how we play. Think of it like combining a live auction with the strategy of sports betting. You choose who you want to bid on. Players, teams, golfers, even horse racing. Over 1,000 athletes and teams to choose from across every major sport. You set the terms, build your own auction, and invite your friends to play. You can even start auctions for free. It's like creating your own mini sports book with your crew, and it's fun. Here's the hookup. Email support@xcutta.com and mention VSiN. Support@xcutta.com. You get a special 3-month player promo code to start. xcutta.com. Futures wagering just got a serious upgrade. xcutta.com. XCUTTA.
Up next, Derek Stevens, the owner and CEO of Circa Las Vegas. He's going to make his weekly Tuesday appearance with us here on the program. I know this. Derek would hedge on LSU if he owned Rocco's, right?
Oh, yeah.
Because he needs
great.
An LSU loss would be great for business there in Omaha for Kevin, who we talked to a little bit earlier in the show. Pauly, they're almost touching 1,000 survivor entries already in the middle of June. Like, what is their updated number for that contest? We'll ask them next here on VSiN.
This is Follow the Money on VSiN.
Welcome back. It is Follow the Money here on VSiN, the Sports Betting Network. We're live in downtown Vegas from the Circa Resort and Casino, and every Tuesday at this time, the owner of this great property, Derek Stevens, joins us here on the set. Good to see you again. How are you today?
Excellent. Good to see you, fellas.
Well, we were all in Omaha together. You were responsible for making all of that happen. We thank you for that. Kind of one of those bucket list items, right, to cross off the list. Overall, how did it go from start to finish?
From my perspective, it went great. Met a lot of people, booked a lot of conventions, a few bachelor parties.
Yes.
A lot of hotel rooms, met a lot of people, got a lot of people over the border. I don't know if you guys saw, but our younger crew that we had out there with the party buses going back and forth over the bridge. Boy, they did a heck of a business there. It was pretty cool.
How'd that go? Because the setup was we were only a few minute walk over the bridge to get to Iowa. So you had shuttle buses that were going to be running pretty much the entire time to get people to go over to Iowa where it's legal to bet.
Yeah, Mike Palm likes to walk, so he walked over the bridge. Over this bridge, there's a big black demarcation line. Mm-hmm. It says Nebraska or Iowa. You actually got to go over the line by a couple of feet for your be geolocated. But you got to climb all the way up that hill, and it's hot as can be. You know, it wasn't like, it was easier to put everybody in a party bus, play the music, have a couple drinks, you know, go over there and come back. It was far more suitable environment to get people to figure out their bank account and how to download and register and fund and make a play.
And that's what Kevin's going to do, owner of Rocco's, because he has to hedge because LSU.
Yeah.
I mean, if he makes so much money, if LSU, the longer they play and the more Jell-O shots they buy.
Yeah, you know, it's funny. Like sometimes people say sports gambling, you know, oh, you're not in the sports gambling business, you're in some other business. Well, of course, you're a big gambler. It's 6 figures. It's 6 figures for him if LSU would get knocked out early. Minimum of 6 figures. What am I talking about? It's just, it might be close to 7 figures of a difference at that place. You know, if LSU went out 0-2, it's probably $1 million in difference.
Yeah.
I mean, based upon the amount of Jell-O shots, they're going to do 100,000 Jell-O shots price. That's $500,000. Plus, everybody who buys a Jell-O shot usually buys a couple of beers over there.
And then think about what it was like yesterday. I mean, what a perfect day for the locals there. I mean, the kid for Arkansas throws a no-hitter for the first time since 1960 with 19 strikeouts.
Yeah.
That's the Arkansas fan base. Oh, then, by the way, the crowd empties out from the stadium. There's Paul Skeens and Livy Dunn at Rocco serving up shots. And then LSU's playing the night game.
Yeah, then all of a sudden, you know, the raid comes in, and you got to refill the bar real quick after 3 innings. How perfect can that be?
Yeah.
My goodness.
That's
right.
It
was really amazing. Yeah, you know, that Gage Wood, I'll tell you what, I'm a Tiger fan. I was hoping he was going to, I was hoping he would fall to when the Tigers selected. After that game, I don't think the Tigers are going to get to see him. He's going to go, I think he's going top 15 now. I mean, that was an incredible performance.
Oh, man, he was so good yesterday.
You know what's amazing about this? I took a program, and I'm going to save this program, and I bet you in that program we're going to get at least what, 30, 40 guys in the big leagues in the next couple of years that were in that program out of these 8 teams. I mean, and some of them might be playing in the World Series this year.
Sure, the quick turnaround.
This day and age, like not like baseball in the old days, you have a first-round draft pick, and then you forget about him for 3 years, and then he works his way up. Nowadays, that's not the case. And with NIL and everything, these guys coming out of college, I mean, boom, they could jump right into rotation.
I think the first time I remember that happening, or I can remember, is Finnegan.
Finnegan. I was going to say Finnegan.
Right?
Yeah.
Because he pitched for TCU with Schlossnagle as the head coach in the college, and then he was drafted by the Royals.
The Royals. Boom, he's in the World Series.
And there you go. But he's pitching already. You're like, holy hell, that was fast.
Yeah. But I think you're going to see a little bit more of that. I mean, these pitchers we saw, you know, take a look at like on the game we were at on Friday night. You got LSU starter, unbelievable. Then you know you got your 8th inning guy, 9th inning guy. One guy's a freshman. They could all be the number one on a lot of different teams. This kid Shores that closed out today, unbelievable. These guys all go. How do they get so many kids pitching 100, 101, all 6'5"?
I know. How's the betting handle been here at Circa?
It's been pretty good.
All right.
Keeps growing. I mean, that's the whole thing. I mean, sports don't people just don't come out of nothing. I mean, you got to keep growing this thing. And I think college baseball, they keep showing these games. As long as they keep showing more games on Friday nights during the season, then a lot more coverage on the regionals. And, you know, every game covered on the regionals, super regionals. And now with this, I think it's been pretty good.
Let me ask you this here. One contest. Sorry, did you want to go more College World Series?
I was going to say, what event did you win? This was on Instagram, where you were participating in cooking at Omaha Steaks.
Yeah, we got selected to be judges in the Omaha Steaks has this new product out. Their new Omaha Steaks smash burger products. They're really pushing it. Mm-hmm. So there were a total of 8 flights. And we had to judge 1 flight, and then we had to grill. It was 2-man teams. I got selected, and my partner was Wilbo. But on that day, Omaha Steaks changed his name from Wilbo to Grillbo. So we went out there and we judged, and it was so smoking hot. I mean, it had to be 25 degrees hotter because we were in this. It was so hot. But we watched. And then we got to go on. We got paired up. We were on the flight after Matt Rule, so the head coach of Nebraska, and then their AD. We were on the next flight after that. We had to go against some social media influencers. We kept it simple. We grilled up some onions, It's a double patty burger, a lot of cheese, a lot of seasoning. The grilled onions in the middle. We grilled both tops. It was delicious. I'm telling you, me and Welbo and I were like, "Oh my God, this is pretty good. We have to do this a little more often."
Yeah,
it's going to be a product for them that's going to be sustainable. Then the way it sounds.
Yeah, their smash burger was something.
Oh, very good. Can't wait to try it then. Here at Circa, Survivor now. You guys announced this not even a month ago here on the show.
Yeah.
It's been 3.5 weeks thereabouts. Your number of entries now on the big board behind us is touching almost 1,000, which seems to be like way ahead of pace from previous years.
Yeah.
Do you guys have a projected number right now that you've kicked around?
Or is it too early? For me, it's still too early. I mean, I'm still sweating. Every year I say this. I'm sweating out, but this is a big jump. What we're guaranteeing. So guaranteeing last year from 10 million up to 15. Trends are what they are, but trend's just a trend. Until trend gets broken. So we just got to get to this 21 million in the 2 contests, and then we got to throw in this extra sweat of Grandissimo in there. But I would say the overall pace right now, it's cooking. So I'm really happy with the overall pace. If we can get to over $2 million worth of entries by the end of June, I'd be pretty happy with that. I like to see, like we see it out behind us now. Like last year, we only started seeing out here in the booths the proxies, maybe starting like right after 4th of July, you'd have 1, and then they'd all the way through. Every now and then you'd have 2, but now we're having 2 or 3 proxies every day out here. Yeah. So I'm glad they're booking all these meetings and appointments up early. So it's great.
Yeah. And typically, is it the last week to 10 days? On average, you guys do about 1,000 per day?
Yeah, no, it'll be a lot more than that.
Yeah, this year it will be.
This year will be, yeah. We'll do, I wouldn't be surprised if we do, let's say, we'll do 5 million in the last 3 days or so. I would bet.
Good.
When's the last time?
It's also a sweat, though. What if it doesn't show up?
No, don't say that. All right, it'll be fine. When's the last time you talked to Steve Cohen?
Oh, I texted with him.
Did you?
I was before. It was just before the season. Just before the season.
So you said this on a couple times on our show that you go to the movies and just get the popcorn and leave, and it's a genius because so many people do it, and we reach them like, yeah, I do that all the time. That's a great move. Look what the Mets are doing. The home run, Big Apple popcorn bucket, $20. You can refill it.
It's really good. It's really good. I mean, movie theater owners like it when you buy the popcorn because that's where they make the money. They don't really make any money on the ticket. All goes to the one producing the film. Like tomorrow we're gonna go up to the store. We're gonna get a whole bunch of popcorn, and we get to review the first 2 episodes of Circa Survivor.
There you go.
The quest for 9.2 million and everything. And everything. So, or 10. What is 14, it? 14.2 million. Yeah, I'm still on last year. The quest for 14.2 million. We get to watch the first 2 episodes upstairs. I'm bringing in bags of popcorn so we can watch it.
You're talking about here at Circa?
Wow.
Yeah, we're doing it up in our boardroom.
And so you're going to go to, Suncoast or another theater to get the popcorn?
The Suncoast takeout popcorn, I actually like it. I like that the best. The Suncoast takeout popcorn is really good. They allow you to put the butter on the side and everything you need. So they sell it in these big plastic bags that Ziploc. So it's a Ziploc bag. It's specifically made for takeout. It'll hold 10 big buckets worth. It's unbelievable. They have it down.
That's an advantage
Great
right
scouting.
there.
That is awesome scouting.
That's how you do it. All right, very good, Derek. Thanks again for last week. Good to see you again.
Thank you.
Great to see you. A little cooler in here.
A little bit. Up next, In Pocket Plays. We'll recap last night and tell you what we're betting here tonight and moving forward next.
To determine the winner of any given college basketball game.
Someone gives you 10,000 to 1 on anything. You take it. Take it. Take it.
I bet you $20 I can get you gambling before the end of the day. No way. I'll give you 3 to 1 odds. Nope. 5 to 1. Nope. 10 to 1. You're out.
All right, winner, Chet Holmgren, 3's under. He's hit 2 combined in the last 4 games. Coming right back with it in Game 6. We'll get to the new plays in a second, all depending. It's a big night. Could be the final game of the NHL season. No hat trick in the Stanley Cup Final, minus 190. No shutout, minus 120. Panthers in 6, plus 475. That was at Will Hill. Bennett to win the Conn Smythe, 30-1. Will there be 10-plus goals scored in a game? No, minus 170. All these could be decided tonight. Thanks, Mitch, pointing it out. Big Bob, 40-1. Will Hill Caesars for the Open Championship. Ben Griffin, 60-1. And Ben to be top 5 at the Travelers, 7-1. Holmgren under 1.5 threes. Neesmith over 1.5 threes. Perry over 1.5 shots on goal tonight for Edmonton. He's 5-0 to the over. In the Cup, Ekholm blocks over 1.5, 12-1 overrun. Good luck.
All right, loser earlier today. LSU, UCLA under 9.5, even money.
They graded it a loser. Where?
Here at Circa.
Okay.
And so...
Depends where you bet. All right.
I mean, let's be honest. It's 4-3 in the first inning. I would have taken a huge break like that to be at a book where it was going to be a refund. That game was going to fly over, and it did. But bad spell here. June down 10.5 units now. Not great. Got off to a decent start, and then the last week or so, everything I'm betting, it's the exact opposite of the Midas touch. We'll see how this one goes. This is pending in the NBA Finals. SGA to average under 33.5 points per game. He had 31 last night. If the series ends tomorrow night, SGA has to score 39 to tie. At that point, he will be averaging exactly 33.5 points per game. 40 puts it over. Anything below 39 points, and I'll be a winner. I could hedge. I could try to win both bets. I could take over like 33.5. I could bet him like 30 plus and pay some juice and hope that he would score like 35, and then I'd win both bets. So I haven't done anything with it yet. That game is actually not until Thursday. That's pending, and because of the cold spell, I'm taking the night off. Got a bad read. There's some stuff I like tonight. I'll see how it goes. And if it continues to go south, I got to just re-examine things here with some of the baseball stuff.
Want to make smarter bets this football season? Start with VSiN Pro. For a limited time, grab the football special at the early bird rate of just $175. Full access through the Super Bowl. Our NFL betting guide, which comes out early July. Power ratings and a ton of futures. The morning email from Bill 80. The best bets from every host, every guest. The betting splits, DraftKings, and Circa. We're getting close. Hall of Fame game, late July. Live and on-demand shows via the VSiN Watch app. Early bird special. Head to VSiN.com/subscribe. Lock in your early bird football special, just $175. VSiN.com/subscribe.
A couple things I want to throw at you. You can always get in touch with the show. Email is ftm@vsin.com. This is from Josh in Oregon. And he writes that the game tonight between Cleveland and San Francisco screams Nerfy, which means no run in the first inning. Why? Slade Ciccone goes for Cleveland. He is 5-0 to the Nerfy so far this year. Robbie Ray for the Giants has been really, really good. He's 11-3 so far to the Nerfy. Combined, they are 16-3. He says, let's go. Josh, best of luck. Great angle. And there's also this. Front Office Sports sent this out moments ago that the state of Louisiana is set to raise taxes on sports betting to inject more than $24 million into the athletic departments of the state's biggest public universities, including LSU. And this would basically be for NIL. We want to keep our football team strong in the state of Louisiana. How can we do that? We're going to ding sports bettors and then operators and so on and so forth, much like the state of Illinois just did to their sports books. And then as a result, they had to put it on their bettors in that state too. It's going to keep going, Pauly.
Yep.
It's going to keep being a thing.
Did you think it would get this sideways? When Passport was repealed? I can't get over the New York thing. I mean,
51% tax?
Yeah, yes.
No, it's pretty insane.
Yep.
But now they're going to keep coming up with ideas on how they can tax it, and people are going to be like, okay, I love my Tigers. Go LSU. I'll lay $1.40 in these games. You want to tax me? Sure, I don't care. That money's going to go straight to the LSU football program. Don't care if I lose.
Now, where was that? Is that Montana? Where it was just outrageous, $1.40, like both ways?
I think I saw a little bit higher than that, too, originally.
Yeah, okay.
Yep.
Arkansas is up to 410. It won't stop. They complete the triple header today in Omaha. Loser goes home. Winner takes on LSU tomorrow. Arkansas up to 410. That's a 60-cent move against UCLA. Louisville walked it off and beat Oregon State. They play Coastal tomorrow. Coastal opens 245.
Oh. Well, do you want to go against a 24-game win streak?
No, I don't.
They're clearly the real deal at this
point.
They're
laying 2.5 runs.
Well, I'd be looking to take that, actually.
And Arkansas is laying 3.5 coming up.
Wow. Okay, what number would you need tonight to bet Edmonton? Are we within range, for example? Dollar, would you take plus 175?
Yeah, that's good. That's not bad.
Especially if you wanted to.
I'm surprised how strong Dennis was, but he made some good points. He thinks Edmonton wins. It goes 7, and Edmonton and Draisaitl and McDavid were terrible in the last game, and the extra day off had helped him, and he's right that Florida's have been bad in this spot. That's the one thing that would scare me with these Florida futures.
Well, I would also say, like, maybe expect a little bit of the opposite here in this series. Didn't a lot of people like Edmonton after they won Game 4 in Florida? I know that the market.
Yes, I did too, yes.
It was a little bit of a move in the market, but it wasn't anything major.
Well, I was stunned by Game 5. That was a terrible performance. Credit Florida, but that was a piece of cake.
And now you'd be buying at the lowest of lows here at Edmonton to expect a big bounce back. And, to me, they were pretty much dead even with that team in the first 2 games. They gave away Game 2. I mean, there's no way around it, in my opinion. They really did.
And Florida gave away Game 4.
Yeah. So if you wanted to, you just ran down your pending. You got a great number here on Florida to win in 6 at plus 475. You could lock in a profit and take a little bit on Edmonton. I mean, it's touching. It's almost at plus 150 at some spots. Now, there's been a little bit of a buyback, and the over 6.5, by the way, is sitting at even money. Some spots have moved it down to 6.
Here's what concerns me. Edmonton has been atrocious in the first period. You keep falling behind, you're dead. They haven't had much success 5-on-5. They continue to go to the box and commit stupid penalties, and Florida has made them pay. That's why I think first goal power play is pretty good tonight, 240, 230 at DraftKings. 7 power play goals in the series.
Well, here's another thing too, right?
And they're also deadly. I mean, 4+ goals 15 times in the playoffs, second most all time. Florida goals in the series 3, 5, 6, 4, 5. I trust Bob. I don't trust Edmonton here.
Yeah, and you also bring this up all the time, right? As someone who used to play the position of goalie
at a high level,
it is like the Skinner confidence level. If they get one past him in the first couple of minutes again,
I'm okay with that. I don't know. I don't mean this as an insult. I don't know if the elevator goes to the top floor. He's a kooky guy, so I don't think if
Aren't most goalies.
Yeah, they're always weird, superstitious, talk to themselves, whatever. So I don't think if he gives one up, he'll be. He'll be going. No, I just think he had great comments about, hey, they tell me to play, I play. They tell me I'm not in. That's my job is to go and play, and who decides who to play when would sit, that's above my pay grade. So it didn't work out going to Pickard. Now you go back to Skinner, and he's had some big moments here. He was great last year in 4, 5, 6, and 7.
I will say, we brought this up after the one loss. I think it was Game 2 against Florida here in the Stanley Cup. And I'm glad Dennis Bernstein brought it up about 45 minutes ago. If you missed any of the show, by the way, today, you can go back and listen. Follow the money wherever you get your podcast. He brought up those goals from Marchand were weak through the 5-hole.
You're right.
And the next day on the air, we were saying that you had a problem with, I think, the overtime goal.
It was terrible.
I had a problem with not only that one, but the shorthanded goal was also super. That was weak sauce, man. And so it's not like you're this guy standing on his head, and then after 38 saves, they get one by him somehow, and it's a beautiful shot and an impossible angle to whatever that goes in.
Yeah. I thought the recipe was more win these low-scoring games, and Skinner stands out and plays well like he did once he came in after he stunk it up against the Kings. But that hasn't happened. And again, every game's gone over between these teams this year, and 11 of the last 12 meetings.
My craziest prediction is if the Panthers pitch a shutout tonight, Bob wins the Conn Smythe. Based on what you were saying today on NHL.com, people are still giving him credit.
I don't know if they have votes, though. That's the thing. You ask all these people who cover the sport, how long and do you have a vote? But it was all over the map today with what they were saying, and then you saw Bennett get as low as minus 120. Coming up next, Will Hill, Matt Humans, VSiN Primetime. Stick around, cashing out. Scott Seidenberg. Wake up tomorrow. Buy the books. Dave Ross and Jensen Lewis.